drinks are on my mind. The decision sets in, one that will churn your skin. The lover's right, let them have their time. And I have this notion, let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. You thought I did not know. Did you think I would let it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I'll think it's absurd, but until then you'll leave your words. But lay on, lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies, lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say that you are innocent, but your words, they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies, lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, oh you have reached your lover's end. No way will we make pretend like we something to fight for. Oh. We had nothing to fight for. 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 what's right. Let them have their time. And I have this notion, let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. Until then you'll leave your words. But lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, have you reached your lover's end? No more. Will we make pretend like we have something to fight for? Oh.
Good afternoon, race fans. How are we? Where are we, in fact? It is 12:30 here in the UK, and this is the opening round of the Gran Turismo Endurance Championship, brought to you by the International Racing Organisation. And we start here round one at the Circuit Barcelona de Catalunya 6 hour. 3 or 4 drivers doing 90-minute stints for their team. 14 teams have graced us with their presence. I think there were 16 entrants, and one didn't show up for qualifying, and Black Flag didn't qualify by like minuscule margins. I'm going to have my little moan about that later. Stamp my feet like a little baby. Anyway, moving swiftly on. We've got all 14 teams, I think, already in the room. Let's have a little looky see. Yeah, they are. Let's have a look at who is who and what is what. Right, this is the results from the pre-season qualifying. Overbush Racing Team were the fastest out there with a 33.1. That's insane time. It wasn't done here, it was somewhere else. Team Race Asylum number 1, Sector 7. It says Section 7 there, but it is Sector 7. They've got 2 teams in. Race Asylum Esports, and Race Asylum number 2. So 3 teams for Race Asylum. Loose Moose Racing, Apex Hunter Racing, the Syndicate Racing Team. MRL got 2 teams in there. Team Full Send, Last Minute Racing, and Ready to Race. All in there. And you can see their black flag missed out by just over 1/10. Am I back? I'm back. Don't know what happened there, but we are back. Yeah, so we'll go through the teams and what's what and who's who soon. We're qualifying starting in about 4 minutes time, and then we get straight into 52. I know it says 53 up there, but it's 52 laps in each 90-minute stint. I'll be doing the first stint here. We'll be joined by Little Nicky for stint 2. Correntis of Black Flag will join you. We'll be doing stint 3, and Pony Boy, the legend that is the Pony Boy, will be bringing us home sometime later this afternoon for the final 90 minutes, and then we can crown, of course, this round's champions. It's a long road to the end of this championship. We start here, of course, at Barcelona. March takes us to the 24 hours of Daytona. Looking forward to that one. Then in April we're off to sunny Bathurst in Australia for the 12 hours. 6 hours Watkins Glen for June. We're in Le Mans for the 24 hour in July. Suzuka in August for 8 hours around there. Road Atlanta for 12 hours in October, and the season finishes in November with 24 hours at Spa. And if it doesn't rain there, I will headbutt a wall. We have to have rain in a 24-hour race in Belgium, do we not? I think we do. I think it's of utmost importance, in all fairness, but there we have it. Let's have a look at who's on the chat. I haven't looked at the chat yet. Good afternoon, everybody. What we got? We've got In Station Gaming. How you doing, man? I don't know about best commentator in Earth. That's a bold statement there. We've got Silent Race. How you doing? Little Nicky. How you doing, man? Looking forward to seeing you in a little while. Nay, brother. How you doing, man? How you doing, Ghost? Good to see you all. I will try and catch up with the chat as we go on. We're 2 minutes away from the start of this first race here in this awesome series that is coming up. Let's have a look at who is racing for who's starting the first stint. Right, so we've got and I've got to try and remember the team names here. We haven't done the spoilers guide yet. We will get one done, we just haven't done it yet. Right, for Overbush Racing Team, that's Pedrino from Portugal. He's going, they actually qualified first in the pre-qualifying. He's in the 650S. He'll be going out first. For Apex Hunter, that's James. He's super fast. Broadcast a race not so long ago between sort of team versus team, them and Race Asylum, and he was very dominant. That is Jay Batty. I don't know who's racing for. I'll have a look at the cars in a bit. Blue Racing at 650S. I don't recognise that livery either. Sharky from the Revival Racing Team, Australian driver. He is incredibly quick. He's currently the GT Champions World Champion and the GT Champions BMW Cup Champion. And he's representing Sector 7, Team 1. And I think Slipstream's in there as well. Ex-Black Flag racer. Pabst. I'm not sure that livery. I'll have a look in a minute. We've got Mr. Delamere himself. That's Evo. He's racing for Race Asylum. Welsh great for the MRL team. Finalised. That's another Race Asylum team, I believe. Stroke. If I'm to be corrected, I think he's full send. Ready to race as Roadrunner Junior. Shadow Chef, I don't know who he is. Yeast, that's the Race Asylum team. And Monkey Man Macho, Black Flag driver that was drafted in by Sector 7, specially for because we didn't qualify and for this event. But without further ado, it's time for some qualifying. How about that? Looking forward to this. Looking forward. Now, I estimate. We're looking at definitely looking at a sub 1 minute 40 from these guys. I think the qualifying time is going to be somewhere in the 139s, maybe high 138s if we're really lucky. I wouldn't expect to see anything less than that for the front row, but we'll see what anything can happen, of course, in qualifying. And then, of course, you've got 90-minute race, and there's so much that can happen in a 90-minute, well, not 90-minute, it's a 90-minute stint. There's so much that can happen in a 90-minute stint. And when you've got 4 of them, you never know what's going to happen. We'll do a little on board with somebody as we go around the track. Who are we going to do it with? Trying to find the driver who's gone out further. There we go. We'll do it with Welsh Great. One, because he's the host, and 2, because I like the McLaren. Yeah, that's it. So he's racing for MRL, I think. Yeah, Medway Racing Team. I'm not sure whether it's Racing Team 1 or 2. We'll have a spotter's guide ready for the next round. I will do something for that. I've got the time now. While I've got your attention, I want you all to recognise the brilliant work for the spinal surgery team at St George's Hospital. My daughter's got a condition called scoliosis. She's had a couple of big operations with these guys, and I've got to say they've been absolutely phenomenal with her. So, you know, over 20 hours of operations, over 2 different operations, and they've been absolutely phenomenal, but they are woefully underfunded so much, in fact, by this current government. We was going to do the on board Welsh Great, we're not going to do that anymore. Woefully underfunded by the government by so much that they have to cancel operations because they haven't got enough beds and go and work in A&E instead of doing the important work that they do. So they need some respect. Enough respect to those guys. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Welsh Great didn't have a great exit out of the final corner. Finalised has got a penalty on board. We're going to start to see the times are tumbling and see what we're going to get in terms of qualifying. Now, for me, I know some of these drivers are incredibly quick. I know that we need to look out for Sharky. He's very, very quick in that AMG Mercedes-Benz. James, I know, super quick. Monkey Man Macho, without question, is a rocket on rocket fuel. He's absolutely insanely quick. He is a black flag driver, but because we didn't qualify, he's been drafted in by Sector 7 instead. The irony is, the reason we didn't qualify is because he couldn't get out of work that day to help with the qualifying. But is what it is what it is. Right, who's going to cross the line? It's going to be finalised this time, isn't it? Right, so let's get on board. It's too early in the day for me to be concentrating. Well, there we go. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. There we go. Sorted. I've worked out how to press buttons like a trained monkey. Right, here we go. Get yourself set up here through this final section. We're doing it without the chicane here, by the way. Which is the current setup. So you want to get a really good exit out of that final corner and stick to that left hand side, full power. 40.3 for Yeast is the top time at the moment. 39.7 for Jay Batty. Heading down to turn 1, looking for that 100-metre board, stamping on those brakes, getting it turned in. He's gone a little bit deep into that first. It's almost a chicane turn 1 and 2 here. Then you got to be patient as you drift round this right hand turn, looking for that little post in the distance there before you stamp on the power again and head down to your next braking zone. Under the bridge, on the brakes, down to second gear, get the car rotated nice and tight to that curb. You can then get on the power nice and early and let it drift out to that left hand side, flicking across to the right for this big braking zone. Down to first gear, you need plenty of rotation here, and not a lot of road to work with on the exit either. You need to use those rumble strips as best as you can. One more braking zone coming up here, just a little dab of brake and a change of gear to get it turned round. Up the hill you go before we head to this this is a nice opportunity for overtake at the bottom of this hill here. There we go. On the power through that dreaded penalty line. You don't want to be serving penalties there. And the biggest braking zone of the circuit, switching back on itself down to first gear with that rotation. A really good opportunity for overtake there before you head into this final succession of left, right again at the end. If you were on the old circuit, you'd be looking for a braking zone about now, but you don't need it because it is literally just a lift, a dab, and off you go for your lap here around Barcelona. You notice I don't know what any of the corners are called, and I actually don't care. Some racetracks I remember the corners, some I don't. I'll call them Steve. Right, there we go. That's the best lap for finalised. How are we looking in terms of the field? So, Pedrino. He is on pole at the moment with a 39.1. I know it was going to be sub 40. That's pretty darn quick. Are we going to go high 38s here? Certainly the potential. You've got that wind behind you on the main straight. So there is the potential there, maybe with a little bit of slip. You never know. James for Apex Hunter, just behind him is literally a 100th and a half behind Pedrino at the moment. That's Evo, Luis Delamere. I think it's Evo. I could be calling him Evo, it's not even him. No, I think it is Evo Racing for Race Asylum. He's currently sitting on row 2, and he's got the Australian wizard, Sharky, for company on that row 2. Row 3 is the legend, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Macho Man. He's on row 3. He's got Blue Racer just behind him, tickling that rear wing. Also for Race Asylum. A Stroke. There he is in that 911. Brilliant car. He is just behind Blue Racer. He's got Jay Batty for company. Another Race Asylum driver there. Walsh Great for the MRL team is joined by the Ready to Race Roadrunner Junior. Also, that's a 911, isn't it? Skipping past Yeast like he wasn't there. For MRL Team 2, that's Yeast. You don't want to get that sort of infection. It itches and burns. Pabst. How do you pronounce it? Pab. I'm just going to call him Pab. Pab, there we go. Pab from Canada. He is joining Yeast. We've got finalised. Is that a Race Asylum car? I think it is. And he's got Shadow Chef for company, bringing up the rear in that GTR. James on pole, haven't yet gone sub 39, but that's darn close with a 1:39.0 in that BMW. That is super quick in that car for Apex Hunter Racing. I did tip him as being one of the ones to watch, did I not? Yes, you did, Herb, because you are a genius. How are we doing, chat, guys? I'd actually thanks very much, Simon Racing. Yeah, she's making great progress. I mean, she has to have 9 ribs broken in 3 places, all down her left-hand side to recite her rib cage. But yeah, she's doing all right. We're going to have your right has some beautiful liveries on show. We're going to have a little looky through them in a bit. But it's crazy. You're absolutely right, little Nicky. How close the times are. 1.6 seconds separating 14 cars. That's generally unheard of on Gran Turismo. You usually see 5 or 6 seconds between them, but 1 second separating the top 10. It is such fine margins, which kind of takes us back to the pre-qualifying. It was fine margins between getting in and not getting in. A tenth of a second was the difference between being in this competition and not being in this competition. It's absolutely awesome. Right, we'll have a look at some of the liveries. How you doing, Nuke? Good to see you, man. Sharky and Monkey looking good. Monkey, of course, currently on loan from Black Flag to Sector 7 Racing. We'll negotiate a fee with you later, my friend. Good to see you. How have you been? How have you been, Mr. Nuke? Right, James currently on pole. Is he going to improve? He does, and he goes sub 39 with a 1:38.9. That is a solid qualifying time there for the Apex Hunter Racing team. And you always want to start good. You want to start strong, high up the grid, maximise your points. It is a 6-hour race. There's plenty of racing to be done. We've got 4 stints of 52 laps, over 200 laps here. It's insane. Absolutely insane that time. There was me predicting low 39s, and he busts in that high 38. Is Pedrino, is he able to improve? He probably is showing off, to be fair. He's got Walsh Great tucked right behind him. Is there an opportunity now for him? He's on an outlap, so he's going to have one last crack at it. Let's see how he gets on. Penalty there for Evo, Mr. Delamere himself. Sharky, he's not been able to get better than a 1:39.3. Good enough for the second row at the moment. We're still separated, the top 10 still separated by less than a second. 9 tenths of a second. Yeast, can he get within that? A bit of a gap back. He's about half a second back to outside that top 10 with Yeast. Pab just behind him. We've got Firelight so close, agonisingly close, and Shadow Chef from the United States of America. Hell yeah for Syndicate Racing there. I can't remember all these teams. I will remember. We've got a few rounds. He's facing the wrong way. Can't bother there, mate. I knew it was going to come out eventually. I thought it would be later on in the 90 minutes, though, to be fair. Okay, Pedrino. He's the one to watch because he's closest so far to James. I mean, Mr. Delamere is not too far off. Jarkey not too far off either. But you can see there, Welsh Great is getting the most of some slipstream down that long straight in that McLaren. The 39.3 for Sharky improves a little bit, but not enough to get higher than fourth. Tyre and fuel wear, I'll tell you that now actually, just a sec. Hold the line, caller. Tyre and fuel wear will be, I've got it written down somewhere. Where is it? Hold the line, caller. I've lost it. Can't remember. Right. Tyre wear is ×2 and the fuel is ×1. We're refueling at 4 litres a second. And all the racing tyres are available, of course. And damage is on heavy, so don't crash is really the cliff note from that. Don't crash because it's going to cost you loads and loads of time. We will periodically throughout the race. I've got a little thingy. Look at that. I can show you tyres and fuel, and we'll periodically bring that up and give you some information. Look at that. Little bumpers. Woo. Right, so not long left now of qualifying. Just a few minutes left, a couple of laps left to improve on the time. James is currently Mr. Speedy Gonzalez. He is the sub 39 warrior with that 38.9. Now I wonder if in practice anyone else has managed to get that sort of time, or if they kind of resign themselves to the fact that that is just an insane lap time. How you doing, Ray? It's been a while. Are you good? What about Monkey Man Macho? I know this guy's capable of some brilliant times, particularly in that AMG. He's pretty darn quick. Has he got a sub 39 in him? Now, I mean, this guy. I mean, he's based in the UK, but he is Lithuanian, and I know among the Lithuanian community, he's very, very well respected with regards to racing. Yeah, I'm all right, Ray. Not too bad. I've been better, but I've been a hell of a lot worse. So yeah, I'll take that. But he's a phenomenally quick driver, and I'm surprised actually he's not churning out for Sector 7's first team. It is such a shame because we would be seeing him racing either way if Black Flag had made it in, but you know, we couldn't. It's very difficult to say no when a team approaches and say, look, do you mind if we approach your driver to join us for the series? And of course, well, he's not going to make a fast lap spinning the car out like that. He's going to go and have to repair that. I think that's going to be his last crack at the whip then. So, Apex Hunter Racing James, still on pole, hasn't improved yet on that 38.9. Sharky has improved a little bit. Pedrinho, that's his best lap so far. No, it's not. 39.1 is his best lap so far. Why is that just showing up as a... No, it is, yeah, 39.1. 39.120 is his fastest so far. He's closed that gap a little bit to 0.15 of a second. How about that? Evo, I think he's resigned himself to that second row. That's, of course, unless these guys behind him chuck in at a quicker time. Sharky with a 39.3. Jay Batty with that 39.54 race asylum in the Nissan GTR. I love that livery, actually. We'll have a little looky at the livery. Shall we have a little looky at the liveries now for the cars that are out there? Let's do that. The Apex Hunter Racing livery, black, white and gold, loving it. And their livery, it tends to be, you can spot an Apex Hunter car, and from quite some way away, it's a very kind of, all their cars generally the same, and that's good because you know who they are. Same with Sector 7. That's went horribly wrong, didn't it? Pedrinho for the ORT team. Loving that red and black, and there is just some awesome work on these liveries. It really is. Sharky for Sector 7. Of course, instantly recognisable red, Sector 7 Racing. I don't know if Slipstream's doing their liveries now. He used to do ours before he abandoned us for his countrymen. There is, I've loved it. I think this might be my favourite one. It reminds me of Tron. Anyone remember Tron? From those of a certain age will probably remember it. I don't know. I think they remade it, actually, to be fair. But yeah, that's pretty darn good. Monkey Man Macho, he's in Sector 7. We know what that looks like. That one's a close second for me. I love the rainbow colours on that. I must take some work for that, for the Ready to Race team. Stroke in the... is that a Race Asylum car or a Medway Racing team? I can't remember. Oh, no, he's... that's the other ones, isn't it? That's the Full Send guys. Loving that... orange and black contract go well together, those colours, don't they? Welsh great for Midway Racing Team. He's gone for the Lewis Hamilton Vodafone Mercedes-Benz colours, which we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about my feelings on that. Bombshell for this week of Lewis Hamilton going to Fezza. And of course there is the other Race Asylum team of finalised. Looking a little bit... Sharky should be in that, shouldn't he? Because he looks like a shark. Yeast, Medway Racing League. Very classic look there. And Shadow Chef for Syndicate Racing. Like it a lot. Some beautiful liveries. So that's qualifying done, and your pole sitter is going to be this guy, AHR James. He went sub 139, absolutely bossed it. Who are we waiting for? No one's on a fast lap. They're all done, I think. They are all done. What is the holder? Do you know what it is? There's some people sitting in the pits, and if you're sitting in the pits, you need to. You kind of waiting for the time to run out. Yeah, especially the Race Asylum drivers. There's a lot of them, to be fair. There's a lot of them. Yeah, I think those sitting in the pits are probably what's holding this up a little bit, because they haven't technically crossed. Well, they have technically crossed the line. There we go. Done. Right. Official results for those of you that care. There is James in that M6 GT3 138.9. There's the confirmation. He is super quick. 650S for Pedrinho. He will join him on that front. Well, I say front row. It's a rolling start, but you know what I mean. Sharky and Delamere. We've got Blue Racer and Batty on row 3. Monkey Macho Man and Roadrunner Jr. for Ready to Race there on row 4. Row 5 is going to be a Stroke and the Great Welshman, not Tom Jones, Welsh Great, in the McLaren and the 911. Finalised and Pab, then Yeast and Shadow Chef in the 2 GTRs round us out. There we go. It's going to be a rolling start. Who's gone for a dump? I see that we've already descended into childish behaviour in the chat, and we haven't even started the race yet. So there we have it. He's cancelled the race. Will now be returned to practice. That's because we have to set the grid by host and then get it all lined up and thingy. So, what are the predictions? Do we think James is going to be able to hold it off? What happened there? Don't think we were expecting that, were we? Well, I certainly wasn't. We have to... I think the lobby's going to be redone. Clearly, did he press the wrong button, or was that intentional? That's the burning, hunker burning question. Let's bring up something to look at. I'll tell you what we could do. I've got... turn the music off, hang on. I'll put that on for a break. There's a little track guide, watch that and talk amongst yourselves. Right, while we wait for a new lobby. Don't know what happened there. This is what they pay me the big bucks for. They don't pay me the big bucks for it, so. Why does that say Stint 3? We'll join that anyway. The name of the room doesn't matter. It's what goes on inside that matters. Interestingly, actually, at 138.9 is quicker than the real world GT3 track record at this circuit, which is 140 something. Interestingly, or not. You might be interested in it, you might not. I'll tell you exactly what it is, because I've got that written down as well. You notice I've started acting like a professional broadcaster. I don't talk like one, but I act like one now and again. Yeah, so, without chicane, the GT3 fastest lap is a 140.9. So actually 2 seconds quicker. And that was, funny enough, in the BMW M4 GT3, not the M6. Interesting then, so BMW is very, very strong around there. This room is taking an absolute age to join. I hope we're not having problems. The session timed out. That's not good. That's because he changed the room, isn't it? We'll try again. I do hope we're not having a repeat of the absolute clusterfuck we've had of problems with the lobbies lately. Right, we're in. Da, 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 da. Right, there we go. I'm just waiting for everyone to tick in, and then they'll set the grid and shizzle minizzle. Right. What was I doing? I was getting lost. Let's return to the correct scene. There we go. If I'm struggling now, imagine what I'm going to be like by the end of the day. I've got more broadcasting to do later for the other lot, who will remain unmentioned. We're doing a couple of stints for them later. For their race around Bathurst, or Bathurst, depending on what part of the UK you're from, or Australia you're from. That was a terrible accent. I'm very sorry, particularly to my down under cousin Sharky and Slippy. I'm sure Slippy will be watching at some stage. Right, what was I doing? Yes, I need to turn that off. There we go. So we're just waiting for the grid to get set, and then we can get cracking with this 90-minute race. We're already running late. That's a great start, isn't it? We're already running late. Are we running late? I don't think we are. I think the race is not going to start for another couple of minutes. I'm going to warn you. I'm going to pre-warn you now. The missus is out shopping. Let me just have a look at the wife tracker. See where she is, where she's spending money. Right, she's actually on her way home. She's gone and done shopping for us and for her dad. So it might get a little bit loud in, I don't know, about 20 minutes, half an hour. She knows I'm broadcasting, so she'll try and keep it down. But, you know, everyone gets excited when they've been shopping, don't they? It's only food, to be fair, so I don't know how excited you can get about that. But there we go. Right. look at me trying to fill this empty space with my waffling. How long is it gonna take? We will, over the course of the season, you'll see a few changes to the way the broadcasting's done. We're working on, and we should be in a position to use it for round 2. Is that an actual split screen for handovers? So you can see both lobbies on the same broadcast. Essentially what we want to do is have this one long broadcast with different commentators jumping in it rather than separate broadcasts. We're working on that at the moment. It should be ready. Well, obviously it depends on what broadcasts we've got, but you're not interested in that. You're just interested in the racing, aren't you? I'm just finding things to talk about. Yeah, I think road running, it will be a great racing championship. I think so. Yeah, do you know what, King? Talking of the lag, I do a British touring car broadcast on Friday nights for Full Throttle Racing, and yeah, it was pretty laggy yesterday. I did notice that, but I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, the game's been out now for a while. So you would have thought that they kind of would have sorted out the servers, particularly now they shut down the sports servers. They've got more servers available to them. So you would have thought it would get better, not worse. But what can you say? You know, For me, I think the answer is charge a small nominal fee for guys like us that want to do this. I don't think there's many of us out here that wouldn't be happy to pay $5 a month to get really stable online lobbies. And if that's the answer, then do it. I'm happy to fill their pockets to the brim, overflow them with money if they give us what we want. Obviously, I want lots more options as a broadcaster. I want weather, and I want all sorts of bits and pieces and thingy jobbies. But yeah, I think that's the answer. Charge us for league lobbies. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to be charged if you're just doing sport racing. But if you're doing stuff like this, you can have dedicated servers which are really, really good, really, really solid, really, really stable, and we pay a monthly fee for it. Simple as. How about that? But we are just about ready to rumble. The race will begin shortly. Love it, love it, love it. Right. Into spectator mode we go. Get rid of that. Boom shanker. Bring up lots of information. That's another thing, right? If you're spectating and broadcasting, 99 times out of 100 you're going to have this information up on the screen, right? And I always have this information up on the screen. Can't it bloody remember that? It remembers to reset my traction control to 27 every time I get in the bloody car. But yeah, bit annoying. So the field will filter round. Do I want to leave the names on the top of the cars? I'll leave them on. No, I'm going to take them off. Take that off. There we go. Prettier now, isn't it? Yes, Herb. It's much prettier. So they're going to formation lap all the way around. They go side by side as they head round the final bend. And then it's lights out and away we go, as the great Murray Walker would say, if he was still with us. Well, he wouldn't say it here, because I doubt very much that Murray Walker would be doing some GT7 booking. Can you imagine it? Crofty falling on hard times and doing a broadcast on GT7. Little UrbanPyrate with some colour comes from Martin Brundle. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I'm not a fan of Martin Brundle, mainly because if he got any closer to Lewis Hamilton's little bell end, he'd be touching it. He's a little cocksucker. Anyway, moving swiftly on. It is 80 miles an hour, kilometres an hour. I don't know, 80 miles an hour, let's say, because we're British. 80 miles an hour, and then 50 as they go around the final bend. And then, of course, it's down to James to send them on their way. He is, of course, the pole sitter. Well, it's not a sitter, he's the pole runner. Pole dancer? Yeah, he's the pole dancer. Just a couple more bends to go, and we will be underway. Who's going to get a good, solid start? So Sharky there managed to jump above Delamere. Evo in that right at the end of that qualifying session, so good work from him. Watch out for him in that AMG. We'll have a look at tyres and what strategies people are running as we go, and we are ready to start when double file they go. Are we doing another lap? Or are we actually starting to race now? Here we go. We are starting to race now. And we're away. And it's very, very close into turn one. How pushy is everyone's getting very, very elbowsy into turn one. You see, the James absolutely been soaked up by those cars behind. And that's the danger of the rolling star here, of course. Had he started further down, he could have been much, much worse. He's doing all right, though. So, Sharky, I said to watch out for him, didn't I? For Sector 7 Racing, out in the lead already. Capitalised from that little pushy, shovey from everyone through turns 1 and 2, and takes the lead of this race. He was followed by his roommate, Evo for Race Asylum, up into second. Pedrinho, he is third, Batty in fourth. Well, briefly, James has regained that position, regained his composure. He's up into 4th place. Monkey Man Macho's gained a couple of places, also for Sector 7, up into 5th position. Watch out for that dude. Ready to Race's Roadrunner, having a little bit of a battle with Batty there, and Blue Racer, who's up the inside, makes the move. Does he make it stick? No, he doesn't. He is just ahead of Batty. There's Batty. Batty again. Oh, Batty makes the move that time. Does make it stick. Roadrunner Jr. He's at the back of this battle. It's going off a little bit. They're trying to find a little piece of the racetrack just for themselves. But at the moment, it is going off already here. And we're only on, essentially, lap number 1. There's Batty. He's dropped down. He's got Blue Racer just behind him. Welsh Great there in 9th. He's gained a couple of places. He's ahead of Stroke. Yeast in 11th. We've got finalised in 12th. Shadow Chef in 13th. And Pab there from Canada is in 14th position in that AMG. So it's an AMG sandwich there. Look at that. AMG right out the front with Sharky behind him. We're already 1.2 seconds clear. His intentions are very, very clear. 1:46.9. That first hot lap for him. Not really representative of race pace yet. We'll soon find out at the end of this lap, though, what the how the race pace is starting. But his intentions are very clear. He's going to get out in front and absolutely go for it. It's a long, long way to go. We've got 4 90-minute stints in this 6 hours here at Barcelona, and luckily you haven't got to listen to me waffle for 6 hours. You get me for 90 minutes, and then I'm going to go and do something much less important with my time before I do some more stuff later. Anyway, excuse me, Sharky leads the way, 1.4 seconds clear. There is Delamere up to 2nd. That's Evo. I don't know why I call him Delamere. I know it's Evo. It's just I've got the name on the screen, haven't I? He's ahead of Pedrinho from Portugal. We've got a good splattering of 4th place, ahead of Monkey Man Macho. Bit of a gap now. If we look here, this is the battle currently for the lead, really. 2.3 seconds, though. It's not a huge battle because you see Sharky just edging away from the pack. Sharky the 140.1 fastest laps. Macho having a really, really good race for Sector 7 already, up from I think he started in 7th or 8th, didn't he? He's up to 5th already, looking pretty sharp as well. He's also sub 140. Really, really solid early race pace. Bear with me, guys. My daughter needs some painkillers. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Apologies for that, guys. My daughter needed some painkillers. Just had to send some morphine her way. Good, isn't it? Getting morphine to share out. Right, so Sharky, he's absolutely blistering pace at the moment. 3.7 seconds. Now, obviously, you've got to worry about how that's going to affect his tyres through this race. I'm going for a tunnel. Yeah, I'm actually beaming it. I'm doing it all from my phone. I'm actually filming it off my phone and beaming it straight, but I went for a tunnel. I don't know what's going on. Game sound. What do you mean there's no game sound? Where is it? You sure there's no game sound? Because I'm hearing it through my ear. Going to be too loud now, isn't it? Game sounds. Let me turn that down a little bit. There we go. Right, I want to have a quick look at tyres and fuel. I can't see what the problem is, so I can't solve a problem I can't see, unfortunately. So that's what we're looking at tyre-wise. Sharky on those. So I think pretty much everyone has started on the soft compound tyres. You'd be crazy to start anything else, I think. In terms of wear, all pretty similar at the moment. A little bit of damage there on the front of Pedrino's car. You can see he's dropped down a little bit. A little mistake from him. Now he's got to weigh up the options. Does he go in nice and quick, nice and early, nice and quickly, and get that repaired, or does he stay out? And I think he's gonna judge that over the course of one lap and see what the pace is like, if there's any real drop off in pace. If not, he'll probably stay out, and that's the kind of judgment call you have to make. The thing is, if you're going to go into repair damage, you've got to go in early, get it done quickly, unless of course you are very close to your pit window, your pit strategy. And you can see there everybody starting on those soft compound tyres, various different states of wear, of course. We will keep an eye on that over the next 40 odd laps that are remaining. But Sharky at the moment is the man to watch. 5 seconds clear of the rest of the pack, with Delamere running in second. He's pulled a little gap on Monkey Bear Macho, who's up now to third, running really well. Sector 7 at the moment, really looking quite dominant there in that top 3. Wondering if their strategy is going to cost them later with too much fuel and tyre usage. 1.2 seconds back to Stroke, who's half a second up from Blue Racer. Bit of a battle behind there. Roadrunner Jr. putting some pressure on the back of Blue Racer at the moment. Really trying to force the driver ahead to make an error. Force him into taking defensive lines rather than what might necessarily be a faster racing line. And he's getting a good run down in that slipstream, heading towards this big braking zone, this big hairpin at the bottom of the hill. If you leave a gap on the inside there, or you go in too deep, you brake a little bit too late, that door is well and truly open for the car behind. Roadrunner currently putting a lot of pressure there. Now they're actually closing as well on the Dutch driver Stroke there in 4th. Just behind there's Pedrino, a little bit of damage on Pedrino, dropping down the order to 7th place. He's got some pressure behind him from Welsh Great, and you can see the drivers still really close together. The distance between, actually, if you look at Sharky, there is, 5, nearly 6 seconds clear. Then from Evo, Monkey Man, Stroke, Blue Racer, the next 6 second gap is back here to finalised, really. So the difference between Evo and Sharky is the same as the difference between Evo in 2nd and finalised in 10th at the moment. Really close run thing. You can still see Roadrunner Jr. desperately trying to get onto the back of Blue Racer and put some pressure on. But Blue Racer himself now giving Stroke something to think about. Having a little look, gets a much better exit. Is he going to make it as they head round this sweeping left-hander into the braking zone? He's going to have the inside line. Will compromise his exit a touch. Makes the move, makes it stick. Stroke now under pressure from Roadrunner. Is Roadrunner going to make it a double whammy for Stroke? It looks like he does. Up the inside, they're going to drag race it down to this hairpin. Stroke just holding on in that 911, but really struggling to keep Roadrunner behind him at the moment. Roadrunner won't want to see Blue Racer disappearing. He's been tucked in behind that McLaren for some time, and he doesn't want to see him disappear up the road while he can't make the overtake on Stroke. He's hugging that inside line, hoping there's a gap, hoping he can get on that power that little bit earlier and make the move, just backing off a little bit. Maybe he's sort of lining himself up now for a slipstream run into turn 1. Tucked in nicely, he's on that power. He's getting that little bit of a toe down that straight. Is it going to be enough to make the move up the inside? What's Stroke going to do? Stroke immediately going defensively, pulling out of the toe, going defensively into turn 1. That's the sensible thing to do. But round the outside for Roadrunner. He's going to get the inside line on turn 2. Move not yet completed. Stroke holding on for dear life, and here comes Pedrino getting involved in this battle now. All the time Roadrunner held up behind Stroke, and Pedrino gets involved, and now it could be a double whammy for Pedrino. Meanwhile, you can see Blue Racer there. He's breathing a sigh of relief. Those cars behind battling have given him that little bit of a breather. Pedrino having a look round the outside, going for a switcheroo on Roadrunner. Doesn't work this time. This is a 3-way battle here for a place inside that top 5. Sharky still leads the way. He's got the fastest lap of the race with that 1:39.6. He's about 6.5 seconds now up the road from Delamere. But this is where it's going off right now. You've got Pedrino challenging Roadrunner challenging Stroke, and ahead of Stroke, Blue Racer disappearing off like a dot into the distance after that top three. There's a bit of a battle going on between Monkey Man and Delamere up there as well, as you can see just up ahead. We'll have a look at that in a minute, because at the moment Pedrino has turned on the charm, tucked under that rear wing of Roadrunner ahead of him for the Ready to Race team. Let's have a look at this Monkey Man Macho and Evo battle. The Sector 7 driver looking to make it a Sector 7 1-2 here as he tucks in behind Evo. Evo's got a little bit of a better run out of the final corner. It just didn't give enough toe to Monkey Man into turn one, but you can see how close he is. He's almost in the boot of that car ahead. He's so close to the back of Evo at the moment. Evo having to drive a little bit more defensively to think about how he's going to stop the car behind making moves. And we'll have a little look at the tyres at the end of lap 11, because I think we're going to start thinking about when people are going to be coming in, because those left-hand tyres on these cars now are going to start to feel the pinch under the pressure, and we'll certainly be seeing them coming in for tyres before we see anyone coming in for fuel. Whether they choose to top up or what they choose to do strategy wise, I don't know. For me, I think it's probably going to be around the half fuel mark people are coming in, so it may be quick stops for a quick blast on the of tyres and staying on low fuel to maximise your pace out on track. So Monkey Man Macho, another bit of slipstream, heading down to the hairpin. Can he make a move this time? He can't. It's just Evo's just kind of keeping him just enough behind him that he can't make that dive, that the door's not open. And you don't at this stage, I mean, you're lap 11 of 50 odd laps here in this first stint, you don't want to start making insane moves and wrecking your car quite so early on. You want to make sure that you're calculated in the moves you're making. Yeah, it's pretty darn close at the moment. I think he looks to have backed off just a little bit. I think he's going to bide his time and wait for that move. Pedrino didn't manage to make that move on Roadrunner, just dropping back off a little bit. Welsh Great now involved in that battle, and he is right up now behind Pedrino. It's the two McLarens now battling out. So Welsh Great brought into the battle. And you can see here, actually, we'll go back to Batty there, because where those guys ahead have been battling, it's allowed Batty and Welsh Great and Pedrino all to get back involved. Still really, really tightly packed. The top 10 only separated by 14 seconds. But if you consider that this guy here, Sharky, he's now 7 seconds clear. So you take him out of the equation, there's only 7 seconds separating the rest of the field. The distance between Evo in second and Sharky in first is the same as between Evo in second and finalised in 10th. There is that much clear air between Sharky. Now the problem, of course, is going to be what kind of damage is he doing to his tyres. And I'll tell you what, take a look at this, guys. Because he's actually, despite the fact that he's putting in some very consistent low 140s with the occasional blistering 39 mid for good measure, but you can see actually that he is working off his tyres incredibly well compared to those around him. You can see there that Evo's going to have to come in probably within the next somewhere around sort of lap 17 maybe. We'll see the first pitters coming in to change out those soft compound tyres. See there, Monkey Man Macho, similar position to Evo ahead. Blue Racer a bit better, but he's closing now on that front three, and a brilliant shot coming down the hill there. Look at that, the cars behind desperately trying to close up that gap. There's stroke there. He is his tyres looking really ropey. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him coming in somewhere around lap 15, as the wear starting to show already on those soft compound tyres, particularly the front's struggling quite a lot. Road Rod Jr. Again, it's quite tyre intensive. So Sharky, despite the fact that he has been absolutely smashing the laps in, has not really been putting too much wear on his tyres, and certainly going to be one to watch. Welsh Great, he's done a really good job looking after his tyres as well. That's going to be the big benefit, of course, is you can stay out longer, and the longer you're out, the less time you're in the pits. Really, really, really conservative on fuel as well. As Welsh Great, he's biding his time. He knows that there's a lot of racing to go. 6 hours of racing over the course of these 4 stints, biding his time. Batty tucked in behind him. He's taken a lot out of his tyre in that GTR. He's going to be looking at pitting at some point in the next probably few minutes, I would have thought. Next 4 or 5 laps. Finalised. He's looking after his tyres really well. Yeast not so much, back in 10th. Pad there in 11th. That's a decent battle going on there for 9th, 10th, 11th. You can see now that actually the gap between the top 10, not including Sharky, is just, there's more people getting involved in that battle. It's getting tighter and tighter as the race goes on. James had an absolutely devastating start, was on pole, and it's just gone from bad to worse for him, and he's dropping down the field like a stone. He's got damage on the rear of that car. He's going to be looking to pit soon to get some fuel on board. He's really been struggling in this race, but we know he's got the pace. That's the thing, he's got very similar pace to Sharky out in front, but you see there, lap 7, torrid time for him, and he dropped down at that order. Shadow Chef is the first to blink. Lap 14, he's coming in to change out those tyres. Interesting to see what his tyre strategy will be, what he's going to go on next. Loving that purple, that's very, very vivid. He'll come out obviously in last place behind Pedrino. Pedrino's also been into the pits, so there we go. He got punted. That's a shame. That really is a shame. Right, 7.4 seconds is that gap now, 7.5, and it's every corner it seems to be adding a tenth or two to that, as you see the back end of that Mercedes-Benz just stepping out a little bit for Sharky. Now Sharky, if I remember right, he's only about 17 or 18 years old. He's a really, really quick kid, and I think he's certainly one to watch for the future. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Sharky on the World Tour in the very near future. He's very, very quick, is this boy. There is Evo, Delamere, whatever you want to call him. He is the best of the rest at the moment. With there's a couple of cars, to be fair, Jack, with front end damage, so it's difficult to tell who it was. And some of the cars that were in front of him and the cars behind him. So, and plus we've had a couple that have gone in as well. So he's under a lot of pressure now from Monkey Man Macho. He was pushing him a bit before, but then backed off. But it looks like as they're coming towards their pit window, Monkey Man is looking to make a move into second place. 2 seconds, guys, to say goodbye to Mrs. Hello there. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. There was a couple of cars that had damage, actually. We had, if we go through the field here, we can see any that's got damage now. But we know Pedrino had a little bit of damage on his front, but he's repaired that now. Shadow Shift, I think, had some damage as well. Just having a look, see if anyone else has got anything on board. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, sorry about that. Just saying goodbye to Mrs. and she's going shopping again. Player Prof. Who's Player Prof? She's outside waiting for you. Right, so Monkey Man not making that move. They have pulled a little bit away. Blue Racer 1.1 behind, but the gap now, you can look at this gap where Blue Racer was under a lot of pressure from Roadrunner Jr. early on. But look now, he's managed to up the pace a little bit. You've got Roadrunner there, stroke into the pits. There is Jabati, but behind the German driver, 1.4 seconds. Getting a little bit of a nudge from Welsh Guy, a little bit of a hurry up. Move up, he says. Get closer to the guy there. Let's work together with some slipstream. Let's close this gap. I don't want to be stuck here in 7th any more than you want to be stuck there in 6th. So get a bloody move on, he says. That was a friendly reminder to crack on with it. Finalised. He's got a half-second penalty. That'll be a track limits thing. Brutal penalties, really. I'm a fan of the old GT Sportway, where you basically had to slow it down and lose the time in a corner yourself. I was a much bigger fan of that than this penalty line system. Really annoys me, this penalty line system, because the penalties are not equal from track to track. if you think of tracks like Interlagos, a half-second penalty at Interlagos is costing you 1.5, depending on the car, of course. You know, somewhere like here, it's not quite so bad. But then you look at the tracks with the long straight, so Le Mans, for instance, you know, a 1 second penalty can cost you 4 seconds. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. Right, Pab. There he is, Pab. He's running in 9th position in the AMG, just behind finalised. Is he able to put enough pressure on him to force a mistake? It is Canada versus the US, of course, in that little battle going on there, with a little bit of lagging up in front. James, there he is. We've been reliably informed he got punted by, we think, Pedrinho, who is currently behind him in 12th place. The British driver, James. Looking at his tyres, I imagine we'll probably see him in the not too distant future. We'll get rid of that now. We've had enough. We'll have another look at it in stint number 2. So, Monkey Man Macho, the first of those front runners to dive in. It's good, but I don't think it's that reliable. I mean, it's certainly in sport racing, it's very unreliable. It's very hit and miss. You know, you get punted from behind, the person doesn't get a penalty, you get punted into another car, you get 4 seconds. But I think it's the consistency of the penalties from track to track that annoy me, and the situation of the penalty line. If you said, okay, look, the penalty line is going to be at the start finish line on every single track, then I think it might be fairer that way. But you know, so just some are more than others. Yeah, it's incredibly questionable. It's awful. I'm not a fan of it at all. I think the sports system is much better. That you've got a half-second penalty. It's your responsibility to lose it how you see fit. Quite good for me because I'm really slow. So because I'm ridiculously slow through corners, I can get rid of penalties super fast, which always help me. Right, where are we? Just see Grant has popped into the room. He'll be your glamorous host for stint number 3 here this afternoon. We are, how far are we in? We're 18 laps in to this 52 lap race, and we're starting to see the front runners now into the pits. That's Evo going in from 2nd. That promotes Blue Racer out into the lead of this race with that half-second penalty. Welsh Great now up to 3rd. His tyres looking in a good position. He's actually going to make up some places. Sharky, I think, in all honesty, I mean, Sharky could probably stay out for another 5, 6, maybe 7 laps. That's going to make a nice big gap. He's already now, with everyone pitting behind him, 10.5 seconds clear. There's a lot of racing still to go. We've still got, we're not even anywhere near the halfway point. So there's still plenty to do. But he's putting himself in an absolutely phenomenal position for the Sector 7 boys. Blue Racer there for Racer Salem. Looking pretty racy at the moment in that McLaren. 5 seconds is the gap to Welsh Great. He's got that half-second penalty. Not really going to cost him too much, I wouldn't have thought, at this stage. There's Welsh Great, also in that McLaren for the MRL boys. We know how quick this boy is. He's got some pace in him as Welsh Great, but he's also very, very good at looking after tyres and fuel, which is going to be really important because you have 4 litres a second. You're not getting too much fuel in that car too quickly when you're stopping. So you want to be stationary for the shortest amount of time humanly possible. So Sharky actually goes in probably earlier than he needed to, but it's probably a tactical decision to come in, as he has done. Blue Racer decides to come in as well. I don't know if that was prompted by Sharky going in. Welsh Great is staying out for another lap. I wonder if he's going to take this to lap 20, because I'm looking at the fuel, and I think actually you could do a stint with the fuel you've got without refueling. Certainly Welsh Great, I think he's going to be able to do that. Don't know, we'll see. There is finalised. He's up to 2nd. He still needs to pit. Sharky now out in 3rd. That's not a bad place to pop out. And he hasn't refueled at all. So he clearly feels that he's going to go again on those soft compound tyres. And so that'll take him, one more stop, and then if he needs to do at that stage, a little splash of fuel. There's Evo. He's got Monkey Man Macho for company. Yet again, these two duking it out. But there is... so we've got Evo just behind Monkey Man Macho. But involved in that battle is Pedrinho. This is a three-way fight for currently fourth on the road. But bearing in mind that finalised the World's Great still need to pit. This is a battle for second. Actual battle for second. And if we look from Pedrinho, oh, what happened there? That's a spin from Monkey Man Macho. Let's have a little look and see what happened to Macho Man. And we can see here he's making the move on Evo ahead. Is there a clippage, or does he just get it all kinds of wrong? Oh, gets it all kinds of wrong. Just he gets that on that rumble strip on that right hand side, and it just spins his back end out, and Macho Man is in 10th. That's him out of that race for second now. So what's great and finalised still first and second. The battle for fourth, or actually we are in real time second now, is Pedrinho and Evo. Evo can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. He's had Monkey Man Macho in that mirror for a long time, and I'm sure he's pretty glad that that is all over. Having a look at the battle behind, there's a three-way battle there for sixth at the moment. Blue Racer heading that battle, Batty and Stroke battling it out behind him. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen Blue Racer in a sort of three-way battle, and then leaving the cars behind him to get on with it and fight it out amongst themselves, has managed to pull a little bit of a gap. Whether or not that happens again, now from Stroke and Batty's perspective, they're obviously fighting for track position as much as Blue is, but will they work together a little bit just to kind of nudge each other up the road to stay on the back of Blue Racer and potentially put themselves in a position to make that move? Who knows? Plenty of racing still to go. Lap 20 of 52 laps here in this, the first race of the season of the GT Endurance Challenge, or Gran Turismo Endurance Challenge 2024. I did some artwork for something the other day. I put 2023 all over it. I forgot. I don't know, mate. I'm gonna have a look actually. No, he didn't hit anything. Apart from, I think the only thing that's taking a hit is his ego. But other than that, he's all right. Yeah, he just it didn't actually catch anything. Other than a spin. Well, it's one of those things. It's one of those corners actually that you can hit the same part of that corner, 20, 30 times as he has done, 18, 19 times, and nothing happens. And the one time that it goes wrong, he does. It's one of those things, I suppose. Right. We are moving swiftly on, I think, to let's have a look at the guys out in front. Still to pit, well, it's great. Lap 21. Now, I thought he was going to go lap 20. It looks like he's going to go, as is finalised, going to do an exact half distance on these tyres, which means they can one-stop this race. I thought there was a requirement to use an additional tyre. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong, actually. But we'll see about that. They certainly won't need to refuel. They've been very studious with the use of fuel and looked after it like they're paying for it. You can see there though it's starting to look a little bit ropey. Finalised actually has got a little bit more on his tyres than Welsh Great has, which is interesting. I'm just moving some stuff around on my screen because I'm getting a headache from leaning to one side too much. Right, Sharky currently running third. He was at one stage, I think 7-8 seconds clear of the pack, and he will be again not far after. He's already coming on to the back of finalised, and not in the happy fun time way, in the he's going to overtake you kind of way. And if he overtakes him at this stage, bear in mind that finalised still hasn't pit. It's going to put him finalised some way behind the leader by the time he's completed that pit stop. Although it is highly likely that Sharky's going to have to pit again, so that could offset that a little bit. Monkey Man Macho with the fastest lap of the race, 39.1. We haven't seen any of the bravery, the 38s that we saw from forgot who it was. Who was it? It was James. James last place at the moment. What's going on there? Way back, way back. He's on fresher tyres now though, but he's got some time to make up. He's dropped now into those 39s. He was doing, with the damage he was doing, low 41s. Now he's back out, he's doing 39s. He is starting to close that gap on Shadow Chef, and he's putting in consistently fast mid 39s. As we see more pit stops happening, I think we'll see him working his way back up the field. He was insanely quick in that BMW, and but yeah, things he got swallowed up really early on. He couldn't, into turn one he was already swamped by the cars behind, and it's not been a great day for him. He's got some work still to do, has James, but of course he's got some great teammates. Actually written on the side of his car, and tell you who his teammates are right now. If I can get close enough, I don't think I can. I can't see them. I'm sure there's a Slipstream at the bottom, but it can't be Slipstream because Slipstream's a Sector 7 driver, not an Apex Hunter racing driver. Right, Sharky is back in the lead now because he's got in the pits. He's in the pits now. He's Welsh Great, and look at him. Where is he coming out? Is he going to come out in the top 10? Yes, he is. How far ahead is he though? Not too far, about a second up from Pabs. You're going to need to get those tyres up to speed as quickly as possible. And the fact he's on the soft says to me that he's on it. How you doing, Slipper? I thought you would have done the opening stint, but Sharky. At the moment, it's a 3.7 second gap, but we look at Evo there, and actually, in real time, it's 12 seconds. So, through that pit window, with Sharky going in when he did, you can see that him staying out that little bit longer has allowed him to open up that gap now to 12 seconds. It's quite a phenomenal lead. He's kind of shot off up the road, and we expected actually the way he shot off up the road that he would have put quite a lot of strain on his tyres. But the fact is that he'd actually looked after them quite well. In fact, much better than Delamere had behind him, or Evo, who's more commonly known. So finalised, still staying out. He is putting on a bit of a show, a bit of a masterclass of how to make your tyres last. He's not going to make a halfway point. I can't see him making a halfway point. They are going to have to stop again for alternatives. All of them will, but he's really getting his money's worth. Maybe he is actually paying for his tyres, and that's why he's trying to keep them for as long as possible. A bit concerned though, if you're looking at his times, he's dropping into those 42s. Is he costing himself places by staying out as long as he has? That's the hunker burning question. There is the Portuguesa, Pedrinho. Had a bit of a coming together with James, who's currently running 14th and last. That's something for the stewards to worry about. I'm not going to get involved in any of that shenanigans. I was going to say shit then, but I'm not going to. The Portuguese driver looking pretty quick. He was this team was the quickest team in the pre-qualifying session. Finds himself currently in 4th. Just behind Evo, just ahead of Blue Racer, who's been performing very well. You can see there Batty up to 6th place for Race Asylum. He's got 8/10 over that Porsche 911 of Stroke behind him. The Dutch driver with he's not ready to race. The other ones. Keep forgetting their names. Keep forgetting all the team names. It'll come back to me. Full send. There's the ready to race team with that beautiful livery. Roadrunner Junior, the German driver, 1 second behind. He is 1.6. Has finalises his pits. Boom. See what I did there? I was waiting for him to go in so I could say that. And that obviously promotes everyone up. I think he's going to come out way down the field. Monkey Man Macho, after that, Vortex, thank you. Monkey Man Macho, after that little spin, he was knocking on top three's door. And then he went, I spin. So Macho Man now down in 8th place. He's got the pace, but has he got enough pace to get himself back into that top 3? We are just a lap and a bit off the halfway point here. In fact, 1 lap off the halfway point. Are we not? Yeah, we are 1 lap away from the halfway point. 18 seconds off the lead is Monkey Man Macho. Let's put this into perspective yet again. That Sharky, he's 13.4 seconds clear. Do not rub your eyes. Do not adjust your sets. Do not book an appointment with Specsavers. He's 13 seconds clear, my friends. How far down do we have to go to find another 13 seconds? 9th place. How about there? That's not far off of it. So Monkey Man Macho is 18 seconds off. Right, 8 seconds back to there. So the gap between Sharky and Evo is the same, pretty much as the gap between Evo and Pab there in 9th place. That's insane. Already pulling that massive lead. Of course, there's so much more racing to go. But what a position. If he can maintain this, the growth of this gap over the course of this race, it's a very good position for the Sector 7 racing team to be in for their second stint. Are you up second, Slippy? Or are you doing the run-in, my friend? And who else is in your A team or with you? That'd be useful to know. Are you running 3 or 4 drivers? Who's in which stint? And yeah, give me all. Are there previously the Vortex, previously known as Full Send? Just to confuse matters, people changing their names and shizzle. Sharky doing Sharky things. Yeah, Sharky basically just drives fast and swears a lot. Pretty much the Australian way. Driving fast, getting drunk, and swearing loads. Sippy's on the 3rd stint. Who's doing the 2nd stint, Nuke? Would that be you? Right, look at this battle for 2nd. Massive battle for 2nd at the moment. You've got Batty there in 5th place. Yeah, he's walking at the moment. He's doing what you do, Nick, whenever you race. Just disappear off up the road and no one can catch you. Like at Nerbs. There is Batty there in 5th place, chasing down that top 3 position. Well, you got actually top 2. This is the battle for 2nd. This is the battle for best of the rest. This is the battle for, can I close the gap on Sharky? The answer is probably no, but this is the battle for the honour to try. I don't know if you're asking me. I don't know. Later, in a little while, is the answer to that question. So here we go. This is about for a second. You see there, that's a really dark, gloomy cloud over there on that left-hand side. Is that an ominous cloud of desperation? Pedrinho is tucked in there in 4th. I was say in 3rd, but there's a great battle. You can see here from Batty's car, great battle between Pedrinho and Blue Racer for 3rd on the racetrack. Now, there's always the danger, of course, that when they're battling, particularly if you're in between 2 cars, so they're sticking with Evo quite well, but battling between them. But Batty in a great position, actually, because if those 2, while battling, have a little coming together, he can find himself suddenly jumping 2 positions up into 3rd. Now, of course, there's still plenty of strategy going to be at play. There's going to be... Oh, you're doing stint 3 for the 2nd team. The one that Monkey Macho Man is driving in at the moment. There's another battle there. Look at this. Roadrunner and Stroke getting it on again. And they're actually closing on the back of that battle for 2nd. So 7th place, currently sitting 19 seconds behind the leader, but only about 5 seconds behind 2nd place. Where's the gap now? 17 seconds. It's not even that. It's 2 seconds. 2 seconds off 2nd place is a Stroke there in 6th. 2 seconds off 2nd place is Roadrunner there in 7th. And only 4 seconds off 1st place is Monkey Man Macho back there in 8th. So actually, He's got the pace. We know he's got the pace. If he can avoid any more errors, we could very well see Monkey Man Macho back up in that fight. We've still got half the race to go. Lap 28 of 53 here at Barcelona. Interesting fact about this racetrack, it's not actually in Barcelona itself. It's in Barcelona, but not like central Barcelona. There is another racetrack in central Barcelona that doesn't get used. And this has hosted Formula 1 races since it was built in 91. I'm guessing now. I think it was 91. But it's been actually the scene of some absolutely phenomenal Formula 1 racing. Let's do it on board with Sharky, shall we? And see just how this guy does what he does. This idiot. Wrong, correct button. There we go. Yes. So we'll talk about F1 a bit around here. So we've seen at Barcelona in F1. This is where Max Verstappen won his debut Red Bull race because the Rosberg and Spamed had a coming together, and that handed Max his first ever Formula 1 win, and made him, put him in the record books. Youngest ever winner, youngest ever podium sitter, shortest amount of time to win first race, and all that kind of palaver. We've also seen Mika Hakkinen lose out on a championship because of an engine breakdown here. We've seen Michael Schumacher lose out on a race win due to an engine failure, I believe, for Ferrari. So over the years, it's been quite an eventful racetrack, and they've actually added the chicane. They've taken the chicane out again, which they took out for last season. The chicane that these guys are not using, but they put that chicane in because there was quite a lot of. It was quite difficult to overtake, and it was becoming a bit of a procession. Now there is a bit of a thing going on with this racetrack at the moment. Is they at last audit they lost 50 million. They were losing 50 million a year, and while they were kind of propped up financially by the government, that money is no longer coming in. So there is a big question mark over the future of this racetrack. I know that there's been some talk of Formula 1 not renewing their contract when it next comes up for renewal, purely because it's a lot to do with the drivers' knowledge of this racetrack. There's an awful lot of driver testing goes on at this racetrack, so the knowledge among the Formula 1 drivers of this track is phenomenal. They really know this track well. They know their stuff. So it tends to be one of their least exciting races of the season, after Monaco, of course, because Monaco is really freaking boring unless you watch motor racing, see people crash and die. But other than that, let's move swiftly on, shall we? Right. There's the man, 19 seconds clear. He's not battling anyone. There is this massive battle. Look at this battle here for second. Absolutely insane now. This battle for second is here. Back with Monkey Man Macho. You can see ahead, jostling for position. Pedrinho ahead of Blue Racer now. Two places that Evo's lost in that first corner. We can see Batty making a move on Stroke. We can see Monkey Man Macho closing the gap on all of them. 22 seconds off the lead, but this is the battle for second. This is where the action is right now. We will have a look further down the field when we get a chance. Almost stepping out the back end of that Mercedes-Benz yet again. Losing my voice, bloody hell. Sights in. Very sights in. What a battle between these at the moment. You can see everyone giving absolutely everything. And to be at the front of that, and let's have a look from Petrinho's perspective. Right, this is what he's got in his mirrors. He's just got a procession of colour behind him, of hunting him down like a fox hunt. In the wilds of Oxfordshire, he's the fox, and that's the pack of Tory toffs chasing him down on their horses, trying to get their blood out of him. It's insane. What a crazy analogy. That Monkey Man Macho just dropping off a little bit now, 8 tenths behind Stroke and Batty having their little battle. Let's have a look and see how tyres are looking in this battle for second. Pedrinho, he's probably going to be in for Blue Racer. Blue Racer is going to jump up, so I'm ready to race his Roadrunner Junior. A couple of laps for, he's coming in. Same with Evo. Same with Batty. I think Batty's probably going to be the first one to blink there. Batty and Stroke, who've been battling it out tooth and nail for many laps. Monkey Man Macho as well didn't do his tyres any favours with that little spin, but he'll be coming in relatively soon as well. So actually we're going to see all change here when it comes to them jumping in the pits. Blue Racer currently ahead of Roadrunner Junior in third, just off the back of Pedrinho. He's likely to move up into that top two because he's going to be able to stay out that little bit longer. He did it before, he's going to do it again, and he's going to help him. I'm going to say close the gap on Sharky, but that's not happening anytime soon. Look at this. The gap between Sharky and Pedrinho, 21.8 seconds. The gap between Monkey Man Macho and Sharky, 25.8 seconds. 4 seconds separate the top 8 at the moment, or top 8 minus Sharky. Whilst great, not too far back, he's 6 seconds back. He's very consistent. Look at those times, look at that grouping. He's just getting about his job. Bear in mind, he's going to stay out a lot younger. Speech impediment incoming. Right, down the field, let's have a look right at the back, because James is starting to crawl forward, starting to claw his way back up into contention here. This is our pole sitter, of course. He's 38 seconds off the lead now. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at the absurdity of him being 38 seconds off the lead, but Pedrinho being 22 seconds off the lead. Stroke first to blink. He's going to go in and stroke his pit crew. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Shadow Chef. I don't know if you can cook shadows, but he's currently running 5.2 seconds back. Look at that, 41 exactly on that last lap 30. Not seen anyone being lapped yet, but we're not far off it in all fairness, because there is Shadow Chef. He's just coming into the final corner now. There is Sharky. Only a couple of corners behind him. So there we have it. Why is that showing me that? There we go. Shadow Chef there in 14th. 13th is yeast. My least favourite type of infection. He's 11 seconds behind Stroke. That's where Stroke comes out after his pit stop. Yeast has been into the pits. He's going to be out for a while. Shadow Chef is on his second load of tyres as well. There is Stroke on the medium compound. I knew you had to use another compound. Are we PSN friends right now? He doesn't like you anymore, Bob. He said he didn't want you to know. Well, he told me to tell you that he doesn't like you, and you're not friends anymore. So there. I'm only joking. I don't actually know if you're friends or not. Finalised was the last pit in that first round. So finds himself now in 11th place, but of course he's going to be out for much longer yet again. James is, as I said, fighting his way back through. He's up into 10th position with a 69 on his car. That's my number. Not lucky at all. Having again these jumpy issues, and I don't know what's causing them. I did a full reset of everything this morning as well, which is incredibly frustrating. I don't know. What's the weather like out these days? Is it really windy or something? I don't know. Right, Pab there in 8th position. He's in a bit of no man's land. He's got no real battles going on for him at the moment. 3 seconds either side. It's kind of that kind of perfect position. He can just concentrate on pumping his laps in as he sees fit. Well, it's great there. In 7th, he's 4.9 behind Monkey Man Macho, who's now up to 6th, of course, with the pitters thus far. There he is. So it's 28 seconds off the lead. Sharky is now how far ahead? 23 seconds. So you can see here this battle is still raging on. Monkey Man Macho not too far behind. Batty, Nick leaving the room. He's going to go and set up another room ready for the next stint, of course. And I wonder if I can get that handover. I can't do the handover. I haven't got the screen ready for it. There's no point. Monkey Man Macho there is 0.3 of a second behind Batty, but he's going to be pitting very soon. In fact, they're both into the pits on this lap. Great run for Evo behind Roadrunner Jr. heading up towards turn 1. Roadrunner blocking that inside line. Does not want to give Mr. Delamere any opportunity into turn 1. He's going to flick it around the outside though. Incredible pace. Incredible. That was eye of the needle stuff. That was threading it through round the outside. Like the two trailer park girls going around the outside. So did Mr. Delamere. And he's up into third position. 2.4 seconds now behind Blue Racer. But I'm sure we'll see him jumping in the pits relatively soon. And there is Blue Racer. He's now tasked with trying to close that 24-second gap on Sharky up ahead for Sector 7. 23.9 seconds is that gap, although he'll be pitting pretty soon. Sharky as well, I would have thought. Of course, still got to run some medium tyres. So who is now on the medium compound tyres? Still softs for Shadyshev and for Yeast. And for Batty's come out on racing soft tyres yet again. Is he planning on doing a very short run on the mediums? I'm not a fan of this. I think if you have a specific tyre requirement, then you should do an entire stint on it. Oh, getting a little bit shaky there. Does hold it though in the in that GTO. Yeah, I think if you've got a specific tyre requirement, you have to use X amount of tyres. I think all those tyres should be used for a stint. This driving on them for one lap and then going in is, you don't really see that happen anywhere else other than on GT7. It just annoys me a little bit, but it is what it is. As Evo into the pits for his stop. Monkey Man Macho back out. He's on the racing softs as well. So there is Stroke. Stroke, I think, is the only driver currently rocking those medium compound tyres. Now, is that a tactic to run to the end of the race on them? Or is there another plan at foot for the Dutch driver for the Vortex Racing team? I got it right that time. How about that then? I do get things right sometimes. So he's just coming out of the pits now, actually. Roadrunner Jr. Right, Sharky in the lead still. 24 seconds, of course he is. Blue Racer in second still. He's still yet to come in. Welsh Great running in third. He's got a while before he's coming. He's going to be out there for some time. He'll actually take the lead of this race yet again. Be a couple of times now that Welsh Great will have led this race. Just by virtue of sticking it out there for much, much longer. Whether or not that's going to benefit him towards the final stint, who knows? He's only going to pit one more time, that's for certain. He's incredibly consistent. I mean, just in that splattering there, you can see on that right-hand side, looking at his lap times, his slowest within that period has been a 40.8. His fastest a 40.1. Over the course of those 8-9 laps, nothing more than 0.8 of a second difference, 0.7 of a second difference. That's incredible consistency. He's actually diving into the pits a lot earlier than I thought he would. Odd that he's had a lot of tyre left. I don't know quite why, but maybe he's got maybe there is a plan afoot for him. There is only 14 teams, Kaz. There is with I think 16 teams signed up, 15 qualified, and only 14 compete, because you have space for the broadcaster, obviously, and you have space for a steward or a kind of race control type scenario. A bit disappointed there's not 15 teams. If there were 15 teams, we'd be looking at who would we looking at? We'd be looking at this guy here, but in black flag colours. He's on loan to the Sector 7 racing team. You don't have a medium mandatory today, so racing soft it is. Okay, then why on earth would you go for the medium tyres? Why on earth? To be fair, I could have just read the rules, but that would involve me actually reading the rules. Apologise for the dog making noise up behind at the minute. I'll be sure to headbutt one of them when I get a chance. Right, Sharky. Now 39 seconds clear after the pit stops. He'll be coming in. If he doesn't come in this lap, certainly at the end of lap 38. There's Pab. He's going to come in at the end of this lap. There's nothing left on that front tyre. This will be his last stop, I would have thought. This is where we'll see one or two cars maybe putting in a splash of fuel as well. Pedrinho! Sounds like a footballer, doesn't it? Chelsea signed Pedrinho from Porto for £26 gazillion. Finalised. Again, staying out quite long. He did it in the first stint. Up into the top 4 now. Yeah, it's going to be touch and go, I think. So it may be a kind of splash and dash at the end for them. But you can see there that actually finalised and Welsh Grove. Actually, Welsh Grove went in a lot sooner than I thought he would. Quite surprised because if it's only softs today, he could have. That's absolutely true, Hamza. Real men do not need instructions. We do not read, nor do we need instructions. That is why I do. It's funny you say that because I bought a new keyboard. Talking of instructions, I bought a new gaming keyboard back. Just have a look if there's any battles to speak of. One going on there. Yeah, I bought a new gaming keyboard that lights up and does all this fangle dangle stuff. But it's a lot smaller than standard keyboard, so buttons double up on things. And you have to press like certain function keys to make it do different things. And I genuinely don't have a clue what button does what. And I just took it out of the box, plugged it in, and threw away the box with the instructions in it. So I half the functionality of the keyboard I can't even use because I haven't got a clue how to do it, and I can't find the instructions online. The only way I can find out how is kind of by trial or error. And the last time I did that, I ended up locking out half the keys from being used. So I ended up having to basically unplug it and reset the bloody thing. Yeah, so sometimes actually it's worth. You might not read the instructions, but put them in a drawer just in case. That's my advice anyway. But yeah, I don't read instructions. I'm a rebel. I just do what I want anyway. I don't care. I don't care about rules. Rules are for people like Sharky and Pedrinho. To be fair, I'd be so far lost, people would forget I was out there anyway. I certainly wouldn't be. I'd be nowhere near this kind of pace, so it wouldn't really bloody matter anyway, would it? 14 seconds is the real-time gap now. Pedrinho getting around finalised. Who's under pressure now from Blue Racer. They're racing different races, these guys, on very different strategies. Finalised, he's going to hang it on out there for some time. He's in those low 41s, high 140s. Well, I suppose low 40s as well. But generally the high 140s, the low 141s. Whereas the guys around him, they're in those low 140s and the 39s. There you go, you can see Pedrinho there. Jay Batty's still with fastest lap of the race. He's currently running in 10th position. 3.2 behind Macho Man. With a 39.1. He put that in just a couple of laps ago, so he's starting to increase the pace. Closing up on his stroke there has just been overtaken by Monkey Macho Man. Stroke's on those medium tyres. Now, I tried to read the rules, but it was a thin plot and character development was lacking. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You're right. There was, they're just straight into it. Just, there was no foreplay involved at all. None of this. It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street or any of that kind of thing. It was straight in. Do this, do that. Sign here. Go fast. Shut up. Yeah. or similar. So look, Stroke's on his medium tyres. We'll turn it off there now. We know he's on the medium tyres. Now he's not losing significant amounts of time on those mediums. He's doing for the low 41s, but it's going to be you'd still be qualifying. So would I. Put it this way, Sharky's on what, lap 39? Lap 39. I'd be on like lap 26 still. It's insane. Stroke's on his medium tyres. Now he's getting good time out of them. But my concern is going to be, how can he defend from these guys? He's already not been able to hold off Monkey Man Macho, although he is, one of the top end talents, shall we say. But it's going to be very difficult to, particularly if you're in a drag race, to be able to brake that little bit later on those tyres. You know, with the soft compound tyres, you can brake later. You can get on the power that little bit earlier. You've got that little bit more torque, that little bit more grip through the corners. Then it's going to be a struggle, I think, for Stroke. He was having some great battles early on, but I think now the Vortex driver is I think settling in for the long haul would be the best way to describe it. James back down to 11th. He is showing signs of the pace that put him on pole. But, of course, you know, you take a bit of damage and you get knocked down the field. When you've got a field that are this close in terms of pace, it's always going to be difficult to make up those places. There's probably 2 or 3 up for grabs with pit windows and what have you, and maybe an overtake or 2 for him. But I think it's going to be a long day at the office for James. And it's going to be a sort of a long haul of work for his teammates to kind of get him there or thereabouts and get that Apex Hunter team back up into the running for a potential win here. Now it is a long season. It is a long season. You know, there's plenty of races to go. There's one a month between now and November, so anything can happen in those over that period of time, and we'll bring you all the action live from every stint. And whatever connection problems are befalling me today. I can't see what it is. I've got 10 green lights on the front of my router. I don't know. Let's blame PD, everyone else does. 14 Great British seconds is the gap ahead for Sharky Sharkster for Sector 7 Racing. Pedrinho, he's currently running in second. He's been there or thereabouts pretty much this whole race. They were, of course, the fastest in the pre-race qualifying. Good afternoon, Milton Sequeira. Is that right? Sequeira? Yeah, good afternoon. I love that name, Milton. It's a very posh name, Milton. I don't know if it's a posh name where you are, but here in the UK, if you meet someone called Milton, you can pretty much guarantee his surname is Smythe Bottomley of the Bottomley Smythes, and he lives in a big mansion with with all of his cousin wives. I'm only joking. I'm joshing, but generally it's quite a posh name. Blue Racer, 6.9 seconds. The battle for the top 3 was really close for some time. Starting to open up a little bit now as we settle into this race. There is the battle for 4th. It's currently finalised. Roadrunner and Delamere finalised, though, on a very different strategy, getting swallowed up by Evo and Roadrunner Jr. I'm assuming Roadrunner Jr. is the son of Roadrunner. I make that guess without any knowledge that that's actually true, but I know there's a driver called Roadrunner that races for them, unless of course it's 2 accounts. Who knows? And to be honest, I don't care. Finalised. We know he's on a very different strategy. He's hanging that car out. He's very, very, very good at looking after the tyres. One wonders if he could find a bit more pace. And not ruin his tyres, but maybe take a little bit more out of his tyres than he has been, and just find a few more tenths. Who knows? Monkey Man Macho, 5.7 seconds behind him. He's fastest lap of the race there, 1:39.0. So close. Now, we saw a sub 39 in qualifying. Are we on the verge of getting a sub 39 here in the race? Monkey Man Macho has done almost that with that 1:39.0 on lap 39, ironically. Now is the opportunity. Can he now do it and chuck in a 38 and get the fastest lap of the race? He is, of course, only in 7th by virtue of having a little spin, catching his wheel in just the wrong place. But excuse me, sorry. Excuse me. What's great is putting a bit of pressure on Monkey Man Macho, and certainly going to be using that pace that he's got to help pull him along for as long as possible. Monkey Man Nacho is closing on finalised as well, of course. But Welsh Great, he went in a lot earlier than I expected, in all honesty. But I'm sure he knew his strategy, and he's going to hang that car out there to the end. I don't think there's going to be any need. I think a couple of cars might have splashed some fuel in, but I don't think there's any need for fuel today. There is a batty in that GTR. I know I called it a GTO earlier. It's a GTR. Sorry, bear with me. Someone's knocking at my door. There's no one to answer it. Hang on. I do apologise. My youngest daughter's friends have just knocked for her. En masse. All the unscrubbed kids of the neighbourhood knocking on my door. There we have it. Right, sorry about that. James there. He's desperately trying to fight his way up the field, but it's not really gone well for him today. 10th is where he is at the moment. He's showing some good pace. He's certainly he's got a car there he can chase down. He's got a target 1.1 seconds up the road. He's ahead of Stroke. He's going to struggle on those medium tyres throughout this race. Pab there in 12th position, 4.6 behind Stroke. He's 34 seconds ahead of Yeast, who's really dropping down the order, but he is 9 seconds ahead of Shadow Chef. 15 seconds, and the lead's come down a little bit, down to 15 seconds. I do apologise for that. My daughter's being having needed to be shouted at. Right, Sharky, 15 seconds clear. He's got a half-second penalty. He's still going 39 while picking up. Oh, he's gone sub 39. 1:38.7 on lap 42 for Sharky. We've finally seen it. We've seen the 39s broken at race pace. That's crazy fast. He's in the lead. He's not even doing it with slipstream. He's in the lead of this race by 15 seconds. There's Pedrinho, best of the rest at the moment, 6.9. However, there may be a penalty coming his way for a coming together with the rather unfortunate guy in 10th, James, right there. Don't know what the situation with that. I didn't see it, so even though it's my job to see these things, I didn't see it, and I care not one jot. There we go. I know that's crazy, isn't it? That's not far off qualifying pace, Jay. Qualifying pace was very similar to that. That was ridiculous. Blue Racer. Wouldn't it be cool if that team was like Blue Racer, Red Racer, Yellow Racer? Well, it would be to me. Maybe not to anyone else. He's gone pretty quick. 39.4, fastest yet for him. Kind of running in third. He's got a nice little comfortable gap. He's not closing on Pedrinho ahead at the moment. Not with any significant... See? That's not a word, is it? Not with any significance. But 6.9999, I love a bit of 69. But he is 5 seconds clear of Eva at the moment, running in 4th position in that BMW. I don't know why I said it all slowly like that. But Roadrunner, that ready to race driver, Roadrunner Junior, the German, is right on the back of Eva at the moment and giving him something to think about. Is he able to get that 911 past him and give him something else to think about, which is whether he can catch him? These guys are still in the running for a top 3. Bearing in mind that the gaps are opening up a little bit. It is a great opening stint, isn't it? A great opening stint by Blue in that top 3. If you look at the top 3 now, and you think about how it looked at qualifying, it's already really shaking up around the field. Monkey Man Macho is still in that top 6, still in and around those low to mid 39s. The occasional, we can see that this is where he's losing out a little bit. He put in the fast lap of the race for 39.0 at the time, but his next lap he was 2 seconds slower. See, the couple of little errors creeping in that Mercedes, and I think that's going to cost him a place in the top 3. Yeah, it's woefully bad on the BMW, but he's been super quick Evo today. Really bringing the pain. Welsh Great there in 7th. He's been very good with his tyres. We're into the final kind of knockings of this race, so really looking forward to seeing if this strategy has paid off for him. It looks to me now. I'm looking at tyre wear. Let's share the love of the tyre wear, shall we? So then we've got Sharky. Sharky is easily going to make it to the end on those tyres. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Pedrinho. Now there are 6 laps remaining. Really, yeah, 6 laps remaining. It should be okay for him. Might be ropey towards the end. Blue Racer again should make it to the end. Evo. Now, my concern is, and as they were saying, as King Iz was just saying with the tyre wear, is that because the tyre on a BMW is so ropey, I think the last couple of laps, it's going to be squeaky bum time. You say that, King, you know, he's hamstrung by being on a controller. But there's some super quick guys out there on a controller. You know, there's 2 or 3 that I've seen over the years that are actually quicker on controller than they are on wheel, or equally as quick. I don't always necessarily think it's a disadvantage for some people. Some people are just quick on a controller. It's just the way they are. But you're right. I'm a little bit quicker on the wheel than I am on the controller. But then I'm not quick at all. But yeah, they are going to, the last few laps, they are going to be absolutely ruined, I think. Roadrunner Jr., his tyre's actually in a much worse position, and he's in the dirty air of that BMW. Now, this could be interesting, because if he's got enough to get past him now, and he does it, it's going to be a quite interesting battle when the tyres die for these two in the last knockings of the race. They're just starting lap 47 now, a good 28 seconds after the leader has done so. Monkey Man Macho, his tyres in a really bad way as well. We could see potentially Monkey Man Macho losing his place in that top 6 at the moment. Welsh Great position. Excuse me, he's going to run to the end. Yeah, of course, yeah, there is that, of course. Batty 1.2 behind. Could he potentially have to pit? Excuse me. He could potentially have to pit. He's 1.2 seconds behind Welsh Great, but I don't think those tyres are going to last much longer, unless he's got big brass dangly cojones and he plans on just racing on bald tyres. James, there he is. AHR's James, he's up to 9th. His tyre's looking good. He's got Finalised behind him. Finalised, of course, will have to pick. There's no way Finalised is making it to the end. If he does, it's either bravery or stupidity that got him there. He's got to pick again. Controllers are for consoles. To be fair, we are on a console. Fun bliss. Pab. We catch Finalised. Now, Finalised has been kind of knocking around our top 10 the whole race. But of course, because his tyres now are ropey as shit, Pab could now find himself busting into that top 10. Stroke is not too far behind him. He's on those medium tyres. I think that was a poor strategy choice, those mediums. He's lost far too much time, I think. He's sitting on those medium tyres, and he's kind of disappeared down the field. He will gain a place now. They've Finalised. Is Finalised even going to make it out in front of Yeast and Shadow Chef? It's going to be pretty close, I think. There is Yeast now. Finalised in the pits. Comes free in the box, and I don't have to do a million settings. That's very true. It does come free in the box. Although it doesn't last very long. I've had my PlayStation. Oh, actually, to be fair, it's the second PlayStation I've had because my last one crapped out. But it did crap out under warranty, so that's supposed to count. But I've had more controllers than I've had PlayStations. It's a bit stupid, really. Right, there's Yeast. Where's Finals? Finals just coming out. How close is Yeast to the back of him? It can't be far at all, really. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's not too far behind. It's 10 seconds. I don't think it's even 10 seconds now, to be fair. Now, can he close on him? He's doing steady mid to low 140s. Finalised has been out in the 141s. Now, is that because he was looking after his tyres and now he's just going to go for it? Or is he potentially going to give us a kind of last lap shenanigan? I think he might be too far back. 9 is what? There's 4 laps remaining. I think it's going to be too. It's not going to be close enough, I don't think, unless he can find some pace from somewhere. Shallow Chef 12 seconds back. But we've got all 14. We haven't had any disconnections. We've had a few issues with my broadcast for some reason. I don't know why. It's what's going on with it. I've got time to try and fix it and find out what's going on with them. But I don't know. Answers on a postcard. I'm about as technically minded as a Stone Age man. Everything I've learned, I've had to learn from my children. So yeah, there is that. Talking to kids, my boy, I don't know if you guys know, but one of my boys is at university on a Rocket League scholarship. I know, it's a thing. He's doing accountancy, but he plays Rocket League for the university. And they were last year's UK champions. And this year, his university extended to 2 teams. And they play each other in the finals this year and are still UK champions. But he's just been headhunted by the head of North American Rocket League Association. And he'll be going in September to the United States to finish his last year, of course, on a full ride to play esports for a university out there. He hasn't picked the university yet, he's still looking at them, but what a cracking opportunity. And for kids nowadays to get those kind of opportunities, it's phenomenal. You imagine in our day, you never would have seen anything like that. So it is absolutely phenomenal that esports has been recognised in that way, and kids now get an opportunity to do what they love, which is playing games and make some money off of it. He wasn't winning, mate. He was on pole, but it's gone from bad to worse for him, Simon. Essentially what happened was he got swallowed up into turn 1, lost a few places, then he got clattered by this guy, Padrino. Now we don't know whether it was a lag issue or what, but he had damage. He dropped down the field. He has fought his way back from last, in all fairness. He's down here in 10th, I think. No, he's in 9th. He's up in 9th place. He has fought his way back from last place, and he's closing on Batty, but I don't think there's enough laps left. Yeah, it's been it has been a bit of a masterclass from Shock. You're absolutely right. 17 seconds clear. Just a couple of laps remaining before handover, and then we'll be handing over, of course, to the lovely, the glamorous Lil Nicky. He'll be doing stint 2 for you, and bringing you all the action, all the glory, and all the whys and wherefores, and I'm sure in a much more professional manner than this blithering idiot. But I will probably jump in the chat and harangue you for a little while. No, I'm going to try and find out what's been going on with my connection that's been causing some buffering issues, whatever they are. I don't know what's caused them. Another full reset, I think. Blue Racer in 3rd. I think the top 3 is going to be the top 3 now, unless something tragic happens. Tyre wise, I think they're all going to be all right. You can see Evo there. He's going to be squeaky bum for the last couple of laps, certainly in that BMW. I mean, fuel wise as well. They're just going to have to be a little bit careful with looking after that fuel, because of course they've got to. They're coming in at the end of lap 52. Essentially, so 1 lap remains, or 2 laps remain for these guys. Road Runner Jr. is in 5th. He's got less tyre left to play with, as has Monkey Man Macho. Welsh Great potentially could be setting up for a last lap push into the top 5. He's only under a second now behind Macho Man, and 5 seconds behind Roadrunner. Depends on how Roadrunner's tyres hold on. And that's the, you can see there, Nick has just put up the link for the next the next stint. Thank you very much, End Station Gaming. I know you're lying because I'm basically just a fat ball blithering in it shouts for an hour or so about cars. There's nothing special about what I'm doing here, mate. He's commentating, so I might want to put subtitles on. I'm sure he's not that bad. I've heard him broadcast before. He's perfectly understandable. Right, so Sharky's coming around now to lap Shadow Chef. The fact he's only just coming around to lap him now, actually, is an absolute credit to the quality of the drivers. Sharky being as quick as he is, 52 laps around here, and he's only just caught the back marker. So you might say, well, I mean, Shadow Chef's like that far back, but he's only just been caught. Me, I'd like to be on like lap 20 or something. Sharky would have like spent so much time with me, we'd be like best buds. Sorry, I thought the cat was stuck somewhere, but it's my daughter, my youngest daughter upstairs singing. She's not very good at it, let's be fair. Right, so if you talk sheep, you'll understand it. Oh, he's Welsh, isn't he? Welsh, or is he New Zealand, Dundee? Either Welsh or New Zealand if it's sheep talk. We're sticking with Sharky because this is his final lap and he's going to be coming around and into the pits. I do want to keep an eye on this though. Is Welsh Great going to catch Monkey Man Macho? I think he might do. I think he might catch him now. It'd be a shame to miss Sharky going into the pits for the handover, but we can't miss an I was going to say an on-street battle. It's not on the street, is it? It's a racing circuit. Up the inside he goes. His tyres in a much better condition. Round the outside goes Welshie. Did he go for the old switcheroo here? Doesn't get it done. Where is Sharky? Sharky's coming round into the pits now for his handover. Has he stayed out? I thought for a minute there, I thought he'd stayed out. So he goes in, and whoever's doing stint 2 will be coming out next. And he did tell me, but I forgot. Luke did tell me. Right, so here they come. This is Welsh Great, right up behind the back of Monkey Man Macho. Not many more opportunities now to make this move, but he gets it done, and he's up into 6th. He's not close enough to Roadrunner to make a move there, but he does get up into 6th place. That's good there for him. Pedrino into the pits. Away they go. Blue Racer, where's he? He comes round. He's in now for their handover. There is Evo for his handover. Roadrunner, he's in for his handover. Welsh Great, he's in. Time for his handover, and Monkey Man Macho for his as well. Here comes James up to 8th place. He did recover well for Apex Hunter Racing. He's in his teammates' hands now to try and save it. There's Batty. He's in. Pap is in. Stroke is in, and he can relax. Now finalised. Has he finalised his lap? Yeah, I'm here all week. Boom, boom. In he goes. In he goes for his handover. Yeast, 21 seconds. Back, 21 seconds. Back for Medway Racing League. A couple of corners left for him. And then he'll dive in. And his teammate will dive out. Around the final corner he goes. In goes Yeast. And Shadow Chef from the United States of America for Syndicate Racing. In he goes, and ta-da! We're done. Right, go on, fuck off. Go and watch Stint 2. I've been UrbanPyrate. This has been Stint 1. Go away. Go and see what little Nicky's up to. Yeah, it's been emotional.